Welcome back to DXB. Today, it's a wonderful show. We are delving into biohacking and all of the goodness that you need to know to keep you up to date and fit and healthy in the busy times of Dubai. So our next guest expert in the house today is Dr. Imane Farhat. She is a regenerative and integrative medicine specialist and a Canadian board certified naturopathic doctor. Welcome to the show, Dr. Imane.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So tell us more about what you do in this region when it comes to growing and helping people in this space.
So I actually try to find the root cause of disease. So there are people who will come in and they just want longevity. They can't achieve longevity without having the proper foundation of health. So my role is to basically help root out what's causing those conditions on the cellular level, on the microbiome level. So we're talking mitochondria, we're talking biofilms, we're talking hormonal level as well.
Yeah, hormones
so,
is a big one.
Yes, yeah, and then also environment. So their emotional state and their environment that they live in. So whether they live in a building that's filled with mold, that will actually hold them back from achieving longevity. So the question is always, what is longevity? Longevity is not about how long you live, it's the quality of years that you're living. So it's adding quality to your years and not necessarily length to your life.
Yeah, because one of the things as well is actually living with animals, for example, and having the fur and things like that are actually blocking your oxygen pathways. It's a big thing, and not a lot of people are talking about this.
Yes. There is a difference actually between dog and cat and other animals, especially if that is actually a good analysis and observation. The way I look at it is, if you have a strong foundation and you have low inflammatory markers as it is, you would be able to tolerate the animals. But if you're already inflamed and your body is already having the high, let's say scientifically here, HSC reactive protein or ESR or fibrinogen or any of these markers that are high, then that fur is the tip of the iceberg. It's the straw that broke that camel's back.
Yes.
That's a better terminology for that. So it's basically what we do as integrative medicine and regenerative medicine is bringing down that inflammation as much as possible, establishing a healthy terrain so that you can tolerate the fur. You can tolerate your pet much more better. You can tolerate a building that has some mold. You can tolerate travel and lack of sleep at odd times. So basically your tolerance level will go up.
Yeah, I always say you want to build resiliency in your body to deal with all the stress and crap that the environment throws at you, basically. Yeah. And so what do you think is like the most common thing you're treating or that you're seeing that you're able to really change people's lives with?
So I'm seeing a lot of burnout with people. Honestly, even when they take a vacation, they come back and it's like they need a vacation after their vacation. And I keep getting that now, especially with people leaving for a month or two and coming back and it's like, I need another vacation. It's because when they're away, they feel like, okay, their nutrition is off, their routine is off, their sleep pattern is completely off rhythm. So bringing them back to proper sleeping, proper diet, proper exercise or movement, so that they can tolerate their routine much more effectively when they come back.
So I'm guilty as charged on the burnout. I think I've gone through burnout probably more times than I can remember, especially at the peaks of my corporate career. And, at the time, I didn't see it as burnout. I just thought it's just, I just have to get through it. I just have to get through it. And I think a lot more people at home are probably relating to my story because of, working corporate jobs or high stress environments. And, you go through seasons like this season that we're in at the moment in Dubai where everything's very busy and the calendar is full and you just have to get through it. But for the people that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about what burnout looks like in people and who it can affect?
Yes, actually, thank you for bringing that up. So burnout can be chronic fatigue, where you just can't get out of bed, bloating, foggy mind, you can't think, and emotional lability, like you're not emotionally regulated, so you're irritated easily. These are all signs of burnout. And then, of course, when you get these signs, then you have to do the test to confirm it. So burnout is not just psychological, it's also biological, so we can measure it. There's saliva testing we can do to measure the cortisol levels, because cortisol needs to have a rhythm. So when you lose your rhythm, when you reach that stage and your cortisol no longer is recognized by your body because you're constantly under stress, so there's no more pattern to it. We can measure it in saliva, we can measure it in urine, and actually see it visually. As well. We can measure your iron, your ferritin, your thyroid. Those are the basic tests that are done, and any GP or physician can do those. Then you have the regenerative medicine where it's more advanced testing. So you can test the hormones to actually see the estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, all of the advanced work, and you can test the microbiome, the gut terrain to see like how that's being affected by all of your stress as well, and the inflammatory markers that we discussed earlier. So those are a clear indication that your body just can't handle any more stress.
So once you've undergone this testing and you have got a diagnosis of, you know, what kind of is inflamed or what your issues are, what are the next steps? Like, how can somebody like kind of translate that then into making the steps towards having, you know, a healthier lifestyle and having like a more longevity outlook on life?
Okay, so when you see a regenerative medicine specialist, usually they ask you a lot of questions because your symptoms will be it's going to be a similar symptom, but yet your cause is going to be different. So to get to that cause, to try to find what tests to order for you so that you can visually see it in front of you, it requires extensive questioning and consultation. So when you get those results, there's no clear one test diagnosis that will say yes, you've reached, let's say, this, but it's a pattern. So you have to look for the patterns. Now, when you get that diagnosis and you're burnt out or whatnot, and you want to start the longevity journey, first thing you do is you start with your sleep. You need a solid foundation of sleep because it's important for your melatonin and your cortisol and all of this. And then you need a solid foundation of a diet. Now, each person is different. What you are able to do for diet, sleep, and even medicines, and let's say stem cells and exosomes, you might not be able to do it. So it might be financial burden, it might be just feasibility. It's not feasible for you. So the role of the physician is to work with you on what you can do, what it is that your goals, and how to achieve those goals realistically. So that is very important because I can give you a whole list from the earth to the moon, but if you can't do it, then what's the point, right? So first is it compatible with you or not? And sleep, I think, is compatible with the majority of people. Diet, again, there's a certain limit that I think pretty much everyone can do, like the protein. You should have enough protein in your diet so you can sustain hormone production. If you're not eating protein, you cannot make your hormones. If your gut is out of alignment and your microbiome is completely off, you cannot also detoxify the excess estrogen. So you have to look into all of these small things.
But Dr. Imane, we have so much to learn from you and to keep learning from you. I think you're going to see a few of us in your clinic very, very soon.
Inshallah.
But thank you very much for being with us on the show and educating us a little bit about all the things that we can do a little bit better as we navigate this season.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.